thanks for joining me on Wilderness with Monty. I'm going to try to catch golden trout in Odell Lake. I'm in the 20 Lakes Basin area, Hoover Wilderness. And I'm going to start out with a beadhead, a pheasant tail, size 14 I think. And I got this jig because I didn't resupply on the rubber jigs I usually like to use. Things happen, work is busy during the week, and all of a sudden it's time to go and I don't have this stuff I need. But I got some flies, I got this jig, I got panther martins. I'm gonna see whatever I have to do to catch a fish. That's what I'm gonna do today. It's a little bit windy. I haven't seen a single trace of anything. So I'm just gonna start casting and let's go see if we can make something happen. Go into the wind and just let this current, this wind current, drift my nymph. And then I'll give it a tug every now and then. And I'm gonna straighten it out first. And then I just gotta watch that line. If I see anything suspicious, I thought I had something, but I didn't have anything. that was the first cast jitters. Let me give it another try. I thought I had something going, but I don't think I had anything. Got one. We'll see if it's a golden. Ugh. And what do we got here? Judging by the spots, it looks like a young golden. Looks like I got some gold already today. But that's good. He hit that little pheasant tail nymph. He didn't even hesitate. I was bringing it in, and the challenge here is this wind is really whipping. So I'm just sidearm muscling this thing up, and I got about an 8-foot leader, and I'm just muscling it really hard. And I'm muscling it right up into the wind, and then I'll straighten out my line. And then I'm giving it a couple of strips. But that was, I've been here for 10 minutes, and I got one. So the pressure's off. Hey, it wasn't a trophy, I get it. But I'll take whatever I can get. There we go. There we go. I've come down to this windy end of the lake because I'm assuming there's gonna be more food down here, because that's the way the wind's blowing the food. I mean, there's goldens in here. Those bright yellow fins. Let's get him back in there. Whew. I'm trying to spot fish. I'm not seeing anything in this wind chop. And I'm on this stark rocky area, and I'm just muscling it out. I'm letting the breeze go, and I'm just looking for anything aggressive. And I switched to a little bit smaller of a nymph with some green shiny stuff on it. I think the wind's blowing the food down here. I came down here on a hunch. I think I'm gonna have to switch to a smaller fly, but I mean, I'm getting fish. I'm just trying to be lazy with that big 14. Oh. So let's see what we got here. I saw a couple nicer fish and they backed away from my nymph. It's just easier for me to fish this heavier nymph in this wind. This wind is a bear today, man. And I mean, it is constant. Got another impulse striker. Whoa, there he goes too. He's jumping. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He was an impulse. Oh, there he is, and he's jumping like a wild fish, boy. And this one's beautiful. That's a nice golden right there. Beautiful fish, pink belly. Beautiful fish. There he goes, right back out. He's not gonna bite it. A lot of them are scared of it, but there's also a lot that are just nailing it. And there's some nice fish. And if you go to my backcountry lakes playlist, you'll see my Lake Vernon clip. And I found the same conditions. We weren't getting any fish. And that's a nice golden right there. Beautiful golden trout. Look at that thing. This lake has some nice goldens in it, man. As I was saying, I'm doing the same thing in my Lake Vernon clip on my Backcountry Lakes playlist, where I'm just muscling it out into the wind. And the fish are back here feeding because all of the food's just blowing back here. So it's really hard to cast, but as long as I'm catching fish, I don't care what it's like. I didn't see any fish in the front side of the lake, except for that one that I caught. But there's fish feeding back here. You know, it's just really windy. It's a pain, kinda. But other than that, it's great. Threw on a 132-ounce jig, and this golden came up and cranked it. See, these bigger fish will hit those jigs, boy. Look at that golden, it's beautiful. Try to get him in the sunlight. See that gold? That is a beautiful fish. Whoa, there he goes. I got him down a little bit deeper, but this tiny 132-ounce marabou jig, I'm throwing it out and I'm letting it sink. And then I'm popping it in. And the smaller fish are following it, but the bigger fish are hitting it. And that's what I'm interested in, the ones that want to hit it. So let's see if any more of these guys want to play ball with this thing. And it's hard to set the hook, boy. With how the wind is, it's hard to see when you're getting a bite. You just really gotta pay attention. And I'll throw this one more, and then I'm gonna put on a small little bead head and see if that makes a difference, because a lot of the fish are getting scared and turning away from it. I mean, it's the same thing with this thing. It's the same thing every time I go. Basically, you just gotta keep throwing it until you find one that's dumb enough to bite. I mean, that's what it is. Because most of them are looking at the jig and they're looking at my bead head and they're just like, come on, man. But then you get that one dude that's just, you know, he's into skydiving and flying down canyons in a winged suit. That's the kind of adventure I'm looking for. Fish of the day if I can land him. Woo! These fish are jumping, boy. And I threw on a nymph that doesn't have a bead head. And I'll show you what I'm using. No, this isn't the fish of the day, but he's nice. It's a nice golden. And that's a nice golden trout right there, boy. Look at those colors on him. The pink belly. That's a beautiful fish, boy. And he just swam right up and hit it. He didn't even think twice. He saw it and said, I'm all in. And now I'm just using this little, I think it was called a bird's nest or something. I saw it inside one of those bins, but it doesn't have a bead head on it, and that guy seemed to dig it. They're being finicky, and you got to drop your fly in a good spot if they're gonna get it. Just when you think they're onto you, I put a bead head back on, and this guy swam right back and got it. Oh. Come on, buddy. Come on home. Come on home. Oh yeah. Oh, he's a nice one. Ooh, he's fighting though. He doesn't want to give up. And I'm just using about an 8-foot, 4-pound test leader. There we go. This one's got the pink belly and the pink fins. Beautiful golden trout. Man, it's a nice view of the lake. I want to fish the water on the other side of this big thing because the wind's still hitting that really good. The wind's kind of died right here. The fish have dispersed. So, fastest way was to shimmy up this thing. I just gotta, it's one of those things where you just can't fall. If you start falling, you just drop whatever you got. I can always buy new equipment. See, there's a whole nother area over here where the wind's just blowing right in. And I want to see if I can cash in a couple more Goldens before I leave. That's always nice, because quite frankly, it's never enough. This is the meaning of a small fish on a jig. He's got some cool colors. Oh, he came right off. These barbless jigs are easy to release, so. Fishing that 132-ounce jig, and I'm on the other side. I was catching all this fish over there. I got around this big old thing, and I'm just popping this thing through the zone, and that guy hit it. Now there's one circling around it. He just doesn't want it. He won't commit. He was on it though. He's right there still. And he just went back out. There's a lot of Goldens in here. One more look at the lake before I go. It's really windy and cold up here. I think I'm done. That was great fun. I caught a couple fish on jigs, but most of my damage was on beadheads like this guy right here. A lot of them were shying away from it, but there were enough of them where if I dropped it right in the right spot, when I saw that they're cruising by, they would aggressively go for it. And if they didn't aggressively go for it, I'd strip it hard. So it was running away, and they would just, they would just, and they would go and get it. So, you gotta go for that panic bite. But I'm dead tired. I got a bag of cheese, some tortillas. I'm gonna make some quesadillas for dinner. And I'm gonna sleep like a rock tonight because I'm beat. But this is great. This has some nice golden trout in it. And you only gotta hike like 2 miles. And once you get to the back of the lake, you just shoot uphill for a while and you're here. You'll pass Hummingbird Lake on the way. So I hope you enjoyed my search for gold at Odell Lake in the 20 Lakes Basin region of Hoover Wilderness. Thank you for joining me on Wilderness with Amani. Until next time.